Welcome, welcome. We are so excited to be here with you today for this awesome experience to explore intuitive journaling and automatic writing, which is a tool Diane and I both have used in many different ways. And today we thought, being in Cancer season, and really this is definitely a time in general, whenever you're finding this video, to connect to your soul in a whole new way and allow yourself to get those answers that are deep within. And sometimes when we get stuck in our mind, it's so easy to forget, to tap into that heart and connect to our higher self, because our ego has a lot to examine and explore and debate about, but our soul has this awareness, and the awareness is typically much bigger than we can ever think about, and it gives perspective and downloads. So today's whole training, I guess, a workshop, you can, whatever you want to call it, is really geared to giving you different tools to tap into your soul when in times you're in your monkey mind and you're ready to just get out. So starting off, we're going to have Diane. Diane obviously is my soul sister. I always call her like a twin healer. We love to share our gifts together. We've been doing this for several years now. I can't believe it's been that long. And in that, what I've witnessed and experienced is so much knowledge. And Diane's been doing this for, gosh, I always say over 40 years and many, many, many lifetimes. And I truly believe that that wisdom is so valuable, especially right now. And the more we can hear from people that have been in this work, connected to their souls for that long, it's really priceless. So Diane, like always, thank you for joining and being here today.
Thank you for hosting and having me. I'm extremely happy to be here and to share and hear what you have to share as well. I always love to hear what you have to share, Sarah.
Oh, thank you.
There's many different ways and we can learn from each other, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, always learning, right? It's like I will never stop learning. I will.
It,
Yeah.
well, it really, no matter whether
Yeah.
you wanted to or not,
Yeah.
ups
It's here
or,
for us.
yeah, right? We're always learning for
Yep,
sure.
yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's kick it off. Diane's going to kick it off with some of her methods that she's used throughout her journey, and then I'll share some of mine.
Okay, great. Well, that's what it is. It is a journey. It's a process. I remember when I first learned. Well, I remember the first time I actually saw somebody doing automatic handwriting. Her eyes were closed. She was on a piece of paper, and boy, she was good. She was very good. I know that she was an older woman. I was younger at the time, and I'm sure she's been doing it for many, many years because again, everything is a process, a journey. Maybe rarely. Sometimes people start off with, "Wow, they got it." They come in that way, but most of us have to learn through a process, something or another, anyway. And this is just one of those things. So I remember when I learned it years and years and years ago. The lady that facilitated it had these long sheets of paper for us, which was so wonderful because, you know, being able to do automatic handwriting, you have to be able to feel free, comfortable, open. And that's a problem with all of us starting anything new. We want to be proficient at it immediately, of course, because we're worried about maybe what other people might think, or even we're self-judging, which we do a lot of that. So, so the biggest thing about this whole process and anything, honestly, is relaxing. It's just relaxing and not putting so much thought into it. Actually, just like going with the flow, allowing. Well, you're in this particular instance, allowing your hand to do the work and just being open. So, how do you be open? There's the first part. Well, so what I like to do with people is I take them through a relaxation exercise, relaxing every part of your body. Um, Maybe you start off with 3 cleansing breaths, breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And then connecting your feet to ground. It's very important to be grounded and rooted to Mother Earth. Connecting it through even, you could see pipes coming out of your feet or roots. And then connecting your crown chakra too, this right here, to what we can't see, but certainly is very there. And so that's connecting, and then relaxing your whole body, even thinking about your internal organs, and then allowing whatever is not feeling good in your body, whether it's emotional or physical or mental, spiritual, to release it. Let it just flow right through your body, down into your feet ultimately, and then into what you've created from the soles of your feet out into Mother Earth. And let me just say, I always like to say this: what's negative to you is positive to Mother Earth. So you're giving her a gift. So then once you've allowed that, then you bring in positive energy through this wonderful channel that you've created through your crown chakra. You can see it as a color, a light, white light, golden light, all the colors of the rainbow. You can see it processing down through your body and just all the way in, so that you're just this glowing, positive, loving energy to yourself. And then is when I like to start the automatic handwriting. So the thing is about automatic handwriting is that you're not going to start off, most likely, writing words and sentences, because your brain, your thoughts, years of conditioning probably won't allow you to let go and let the process happen. So again, it's a process. So you're going to um, create a situation where you feel more relaxed by doing that exercise, and then getting a big tablet of paper. Now, remember, I told you about that lady that had that oodles of that white. I don't know. It has a. I don't know what that's called, but sheet paint. What is that called? Do you know?
Like poster board paper kind of?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. Poster board paper, which is really cool. But just get yourself a big pad like this. And the reason is the bigger the better, is because you are going to relax and close your eyes and let your energy flow through your hand, through the pen, onto the paper. And so now let me just talk a little bit too. I want to make this as easy as possible for you. So one of the things is the tools that you use. I mean, if you use a little tiny piece of paper, it's going to be very difficult for you to let go, because that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to let go. And another thing are your tools, your actual tools. Well, what are your tools? Your tools are, well, it could be a pencil, but I've used pens. And so one pen, this first pen, makes a certain mark, and you have that sheet,
Yes.
Sarah. I just want to show you the difference. The one on the very top is this little pink pen here. And then the next one, which wasn't bad, was this blue pen here. Wasn't bad, but the one that actually worked the best was this pen right here. So that is the pen that I would use. You can take it down now. Thanks, Sarah.
Okay. Yep.
So, okay. So now the thing is that you've got your paper and your pen. Now the process is to get ready for it. So I love to set an intention whether I meditate. I mean, not always, but mostly I do. I love to set intentions, whether I ask a question or I ask my higher self, my soul, a question, or what would my soul like to tell me right now? Or you could say, what would your spirit guides like to tell you? Or what would your angels like to tell you? We have so many wonderful resources that we can't see, but that are there if you invite them in. And that's what we're doing right here. We're inviting in a higher vibration for you to find whatever information you're seeking. So okay, so then you set your intention, and you can even write it down on the top of your paper. Actually, to put it down with your own hand is a wonderful thing to do too. So then it's a process of then closing your eyes and letting go. So what I want you to do is just close your eyes and take some nice cleansing breaths, but simple cleansing breaths. In through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And just do that 3 times. So now what you're going to do is you're going to pick up your pen and you're just going to allow lazy circles, just putting lazy circles on your paper. But I want you to have your eyes closed as you're doing it because you don't want to see what you're doing. You want to allow your hand to go wherever it wants to go. You could even change hands. Take whatever your dominant hand is, don't use that dominant hand. Just use the hand and let the hand flow. Keep your eyes shut and just let it go. And you do that for maybe a minute, which is a long time, honestly. And really, there's no rule. So you be the judge of how long it should be. Remember, there's no one controlling you but you. So you make the decision that when you're done, you're done. Now lift up your hand and now you take a look at what you've drawn. Now, it may not look like anything when you first look at it, but if you really start to look at it and look for maybe letters or maybe there could be a word in there, there could be a picture in there that has some special meaning. You need to turn it around. There could be a symbol in there. Look at it in different aspects. Turn your paper around and look at it at different angles. And open your heart. Ask your higher self to guide you to see what it is that you are supposed to see in this. Now, let me just say that maybe you won't see anything. It's possible, but I don't want you to give up because nothing usually happens the first time you try it. Like meditating. I mean, if you've meditated for years and years, okay, now you can meditate maybe for an hour. But if you just started yesterday, do you think you can meditate for an hour? Would you put that pressure on yourself? Don't put that pressure on yourself. Don't put that pressure on this. This is fun. This is not serious. This is supposed to be fun. It's like, don't think. As a matter of fact, we think way too much. In the Taoism, they talk about how we as human beings, oh my gosh, we overthink everything. And when we overthink, we start to worry. And then that doesn't lead to anything great. So with this, you're going to practice not thinking. What a wonderful thing. And you're going to also practice trust that what you're doing has meaning behind it and that you're going to get guidance out of this. You just have to stick with it. Don't give up. I mean, that's what too many people do. They give up. They start and they don't finish, and they judge. And don't judge. Love yourself. That's the most important thing. Matter of fact, wouldn't that be an interesting? Set your intention on love the first time you do this. Just write the word love and see what comes up for you. Could be interesting. Do you have any questions, Sarah? Anything I've said? Oh, one other thing. Always date your work. Because you never, hold on to it. You never know, oh, man. I mean, at the age that I am, I can look back now and see things that I've created in the past for the future. And I'm sure you guys can too. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be old to do that. But it's so much fun to see it. Yeah. Your progress, where you were, where you are now.
Yes,
Oh, and there was one
definitely.
other thing I wanted to say. Shall I say it now, Sarah?
Yeah.
This is a progression. I've been saying it. It's a process. It's a process. I started off with that. And, I started off with lazy circles. I was told we all have creativeness inside of us, and we all need to release that creativeness because it's part of our spiritual growth, I believe. And so I always wanted to draw. My mother was an artist. There's her picture right over there behind me. Right there.
No,
One of her
yeah.
pictures. But I couldn't. I mean, it wasn't in my repertoire. But I went home and I thought, well, I've done automatic handwriting. Maybe I can do automatic drawing. And so it was a process. I didn't start off great for sure, but I let go, and I believe the things that I'm getting are from my past lives. Um, we've talked about past life regression. Well,
A
yes,
little bit.
a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah, a little bit. So anyway, Sarah, show them a picture. It's just one of
Yeah.
the pictures that I created. Uh, Believe me, I am not an artist, and that's just. I mean, to me, that's way beyond my skill set. I'm a stick figure kind of gal. So, but that was letting go. You want to say, let go and let God, let go and let your soul, let go and let the universe, let go, let go, let go. Just let go, and miracles start to happen. Yeah, it's true. Okay, sorry, you can take it off.
It's so
Thank
cool.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful to look at. I almost see like not aliens, but like a higher like a
Mm,
higher intelligence here too. Very
mm,
cool.
yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. Did you? I was going to ask you. Were there any questions that you might have had when I described
No,
everything?
I mean, your process is so different from mine. So it was cool to
Hmm.
explore it and, allow it to be more free. I feel like how I've learned is very like it's just a whole different process, which I'll go in a minute. But yeah, it actually what I drew is it's personal, but
Mm,
it really opened up some perspective. So it was nice to see that it's not just words. Sometimes it's,
mm-mm.
doing, the circles and if you're just joining, Diane walked us through a whole process to create an alignment and start channeling through shapes really and it did create a very profound picture for me. So I think
Mm,
that it's good to explore other ways. So if like words aren't coming or, words are not serving you in that moment, I think just allowing those lines and those circles and the shapes to, intuitively come and they'll have some type of meaning. I was able to quickly find the meaning in it. I had to look at it for a little bit. At first I thought it was one thing and then I looked closer and I was like, oh no, 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 I see what this is. So
mhm.
it's really fascinating.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm excited. You know, another thing too. So it's I believe in things being simplistic. I
Yeah.
don't think we need to complicate things. I think that people have been led to think that they need to do all these different things, whatever
Mhm.
that might be. Like I wanted to say, like, not that it's wrong. There is no right or wrong.
Yeah.
Incense,
Mhm.
oil. Oh, starting off in my spiritual adventure. This
Yeah.
is an oil it's called white angelica. I used
Mhm.
it a lot here and in here, which is lovely. All these tools work until you don't need them anymore. Music
Yeah.
is a wonderful thing too. I love music. Oh, you could do a lot with
Yes.
music actually while you're
Yes.
doing this. That would be a great tool to use,
Yeah, definitely.
depending on what kind of music you're listening to too.
That is very valid.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Anything else or any other methods that you wanna share with your experience or other ways you've used automatic writing or even intuitive journaling?
When I was looking through my things to find uh, this pad in particular, because I love this pad. This is the pad I use when I do automatic handwriting. I noticed, oh my goodness, I have so many journals in this one particular space that I kept. And I think I've kept most of my journals over the years. And it's interesting, I did look at them, and yes, they are stream of consciousness. I would call them stream of consciousness, especially as I developed along the way. Of course, that develops too as you journal. And but very it's intentional, but it's for me, and probably very different what you do. But this is a different kind of intention. This is
Mhm.
much more pointed, I think, and fun. The other one
Mhm.
is a little more serious to me. To me, this is more like, oh, let's have some fun.
Yep.
Let's do some automatic handwriting and see what comes out. Let's see
Yep.
what the universe wants us to know.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Not to say that it can't come through a journal too.
Yeah.
So, but there's so many ways of receiving information. I mean, I love just reading, reading a book. that has some significance to you, that's already vibrating at a higher level, and opening up to that vibration,
Yep.
and then stopping. You know, so many people, they'll read a book and, oh yeah, I read that book. Oh, sorry. I thought I turned that off. I was gonna say, oh yeah, I'm reading a book, you know, right now. The thing is that you have to, oh yeah, people will say, oh yeah, I read that book, I read this book, oh yeah, but that doesn't make you, you know, expert on it. You have to digest a book, you know. So I'm reading a few different things right now, and I love when I'm reading a book. It's when something is of significance is there on that page or a sentence, I open my mind really, and I stop. I open my mind and I go, I need more information on this, or I need clarity on this. Whatever it is that I need, I know I can get it now. That's another way of receiving even higher information. It's all about being open. You know, I highly, highly recommend this automatic handwriting as a way of opening up and trusting. You'll see the process. It's just, I think it might be the easier way to open. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tool I use to help get past my surface level thoughts and go a little bit
Yeah.
deeper into the awareness, our perspective I need to rather explore versus the repetitive thoughts that obviously aren't getting me anywhere and keeping me a little bit stuck. So whenever I get there, which, you know, as humans, it's common, I do rely on automatic journaling or intuitive journaling or automatic writing to support me in that, especially when it's something heavier. And sometimes what happens is I am a very visual person as well. So sometimes I need to speak it out. So I'll just record myself on audio and then I'll listen and then I'll journal. So I can kind of hear the repetitive thoughts and I start writing them down and then I do a clearing process and I'm like, okay, this is ready to evolve. And or I'll write you know, the opposite meaning of it. Like, okay, I see the negative. What's the positive? Because there's, you know, we're in duality, we're in the polarity. So there's always going to be the other half. It's just what energy are we giving? You know, are we giving one side more emphasis than the other? So, you know, I can lead with fear or I can lead with love or I can lead with neutrality. And every circumstance and situation is different. And, you know, when the fear keeps coming up, it for me, it jolts me out of perspective sometimes. So especially fears is where I use automatic writing or intuitive journaling for sure.
That's very interesting. I've never used journaling like that. I mean, I use it to express my feelings, my emotions, to get them out. I mean, you know, I have that I love you exercise. The mirror, when you look into the mirror and I love you, and that's a process. And eventually that process is to take it out of your body and put it into a journal and write everything down that was in your heart and your mind, and release it and let it go. So, I mean, I do that, and I teach people that. It's kind of, it's just so, isn't it wonderful? There's so many ways.
So many ways. And it's good to explore different ways. You know, for me, sometimes when I'm like, oh, this way, and it doesn't work, it's just because my energy just doesn't want to be there. It doesn't want to be contained or it doesn't want to like put on paper. So it's honoring, you know, sometimes I go to nature and talk to a tree, you know, and man, those trees have wisdom. And, you know, like I'm just like touching it. I'm just like, listen, I need support here because I feel like off and I reground. I visualize my roots connecting to the tree roots and working with Gaia and the earth to just recalibrate whatever is causing that disharmony. And, you know, so I think we're in a time where there's no prescription, right? It's just what do you need and what is the tool that feels the most available in that moment, because sometimes when we're around other energies too, it's not like you can just go outside like I just need to go talk to a tree real fast, right? We might need to like we might need to just in that moment just decide, I can react or I can just stay neutral and decide what I want to do with this afterwards.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'm still learning that, and no one's perfect, nor am I, nor do I pretend to be. And
Mhm.
I also know that it's a journey, and we're going to come up against conflicting energies in that journey, and we are definitely the keepers of our energy. So we get to choose what we give our energy to and what we don't. And so I'm learning discernment more and more. I feel like the pandemic has supported me with that a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that is so true. Your thoughts are everything.
Yeah.
But overthinking is a problem too.
Yep.
It's such a delicate balance, and it's
Yeah.
something that has to be learned. It
Yep.
just doesn't happen automatically.
And I will say water, like showering. Sometimes I also will just shower, especially after a day of clients, or I'm just like, oh, I feel a little bit heavy and I
Hmm.
don't know why. Because sometimes that clarity's not there. And it's just like, I don't know, I just feel off, right?
Hmm.
I'll take a shower or a bath. And man, the perspective, like all the time, I swear the shower is the most powerful
Yeah.
portal ever for us. It's that moving water and that release and the cleansing. I bought Dr. Teal's body wash, and it has Himalayan salt in it. And I
Oh, I love
I
that.
love it. Like my showers
Oh,
are like always cleansing, and I always feel so great at Big Lots. It's like
yeah,
$5 for a huge thing. And
yeah, yeah. Oh, I love
it's
their
so
product.
great.
It's so
Yeah.
pure. I use it on my
Yep.
face. The
Yeah.
calendula. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so
Oh,
good.
that's so great for your skin. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, wow. So, mm,
Any last tidbits before I go through my process that you want to add?
um, yeah, just be patient. Be
Yeah.
patient with yourself, start there. Patient with yourself. Oh, there's so much goodness available for all of us. All of us. We just
Yeah.
have to tap into it. And now is the time because we are there. We are there.
Yeah.
We're no
More
more
than ever
waiting. We're
before.
there.
Yeah.
We're there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I agree. To have patience, don't rush it.
Mhm.
Everything to me is a relationship. So you got to it's a muscle, it's a relationship, however you want to look at it. You got to give it energy, consistency, build your own relationship with it, and you'll know what's yours. So there's so many different ways, and sometimes modifying, making it your own and be like, okay, I was taught this way, but this feels better for me, then do it. Like for me, when I
Absolutely.
first started journaling, I had to use markers. I couldn't use a pen because I would write very little. But with
Oh,
markers, I enjoyed how it felt, and I
what
would just write. So, pens matter, and
they do.
yeah,
All the way
yeah.
around.
Like one thing I would do is I get all the chakra colors out, the 7 internal,
Hmm.
and I would intuitively close my eyes and mix them up, and I would just pick one. And I'd say, okay, what chakra has a message for me today? And so this is intuitive journaling. And I'd pick that color, and then I would tap in. I do a meditation to tap into that chakra, and I would explore the energy. And then I would journal and I would journal for 11 minutes. So I'd set music for 11 minutes, and I would just let that chakra speak.
I love it.
And what would come through is exactly what I need to know and be aware of and put my energy into. And sometimes it would be memories, and sometimes it would be, premonitions. So just be open to what comes through, because sometimes I'd get a vision out of nowhere and I was just like, oh, what is this vision? I'd start journaling and describing the vision, and then all of a sudden that description opens up a perspective. So if sometimes I would do it one chakra a day. When I first started, I did Kundalini Reiki certification, and it's all about working the chakra system, and I really wanted to go deeper with it, so I created this whole method for that, and it allowed me to actually understand where my chakras were vibrating. And now I have Healy Analyze, which gives you a whole report
Hmm.
on what color your chakra is vibrating at,
Very
what
cool.
level of intensity. So it's like if you just started this like cycle of evolution, it shows you actually where you're at in that evolution. It's very fascinating information, and I use it to support my clients in understanding their chakras and where they're currently vibrating. And not only do you get the data, but with the Healy Analyze, you can actually send those frequencies to yourself or others that are in your same location. So that's now a new tool I do. So I'm like, okay, let's look at your top 5 chakra energies you're working on. And then I have them pick a color. So if they don't have all the markers, what I'll do is I'll have them write red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, violet, or white, whatever, you resonate with your crown, and mix them up, and then they'll pick one. So, you can make it, if you have the markers, the Dollar Tree or dollar store is great for these types of supplies. So, and luckily, like, the chakra colors internal, pretty much the primary colors too. So hey, look what we got. It's pretty easy to find those colors. So I highly recommend that if you're going through a time of transformation or time of change, and you're really having to work through stuff and gain a lot of awareness to help inform you how to move forward. Work with your chakra centers. They have a lot of information for us, and they're in us, so it's constantly informing us in different ways. So that's one process I've done with intuitive journaling.
Wow, that's great. I love that idea of focusing in on a chakra.
Mm-hmm.
I every day I do my aura scan on my healing, because I want to know where I am, and I want the healing too.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's opened me up to understand really what's going on with me subconsciously.
Yep.
But how wonderful too to be able to. I'm just thinking that you can run. Let's say you've got you yourself pick out, let's say, the color yellow, which is your solar plexus. Now you go to your Healy and you can run that solar plexus, and you can journal at the same time.
Yes.
Oh, and imagine what the vibration will be and what the information.
Yep. It's so different. It's so different. Like, because I've been doing this before I had the Healy, and I mean, yes, the information that came through was great, but receiving the currents, the microcurrents while doing it, it's next level. It's just like, it just brings a different awareness. I don't have words for it. It's just definitely, I will say, opens up more perspective. So when the microcurrents are being sent to these cells, it basically is targeting the unhealthy cells, the cells that need more energy. So imagine you're giving energy intuitively by bringing that awareness to that specific chakra center, but you're also gaining that frequency healing at the same time. So healing is a tool you can use for yourself. So if you're interested, you're like, what is this? I want to learn more. There is a link below, and it's a free 20-minute demo. You can coordinate with me or my team. And then also I do have a chakra healing service. So if you want to explore that for yourself, it's remote, and we'll go through your chakras. I'll show you the whole analysis, and then I'll take you through a healing meditation. You'll get the microcurrents as well remotely, and I also give you energy healing as well. And we can pretty much tap into whatever level of energy. Some people really want to know past lives, so we can pull that in too. So it's really whatever you're needing in that moment. But it's one of my favorite services, because to me, it really helps people understand their energy and understand that they have access to healing themselves, because we're all natural healers. We just forgot, and we give our power away a lot. So to me, this is a tool that gives a lot of power back and a lot of extra support. So I've seen amazing things with working with just my chakras alone and gaining a lot of clarity. So that's just a side note. Another process I do is I'll grab a pen, and like Diane mentioned before, I'll do a meditation for about 10 minutes, and usually with music, and I just calm myself, because if my mind's too busy, nothing's coming through. We're blocked. So first we got to open. And sometimes it takes more than 10 minutes, but usually that's my sweet spot. After 10-minute meditation, I'm tapped in. And usually less than that, but I like 10 minutes at least to just open that space. And I do set an intention to receive whatever information I need to know for my highest good in this moment. And after I do the meditation, what I imagine is a white pillar of light from the 12th dimension plus, coming down from the heavens, beaming down into the top of my head. And then I imagine that my pen is activated with that same beam of light to that 12th dimension plus. And until I feel almost like I have like a laser sword, it's like it starts to vibrate. My pen will vibrate. And, everyone's different. So this is just my experience. But for me, I get this sensation like, okay, it's activated, it's ready. And I can almost move it. Like right now, I feel it. I'm like, oh yeah, I can move it. And I feel, and I clear my journal. I'm like, okay, let's clear the journal. Let's clear my space, clear whatever energy. And I use it as like a wand. Now I also have like this awesome wand I can use too. So this is like a crystal wand. So I might use that. And then what I'll do is I'll write a question and allow myself to just journal freely. And I set the intention to do it for me personally speaking. 5 minutes in is when I let go of my thoughts. And that's when I start to see other perspectives come in. So after 5 minutes, my ego had enough time to get it all out. And it's good because then my soul comes in, which feels like my soul. And energetically speaking, what it feels like is almost like an outside voice. And maybe it's my angels and guides because I do call those in. So I get another voice, and sometimes it shows up in my own voice, but it's not my words I would use, and it's different words or different thought that was even on my radar before. And I start writing that, and as I start writing that, more and more opens up. So I set a timer for 20 minutes. So for 5 minutes, it's pretty much me with me, and then for 15, it's me with my soul, and it goes by so fast. And then I have pages, and sometimes it's drawings, sometimes it's shapes, sometimes it's I'll get products or like ideas to create for others. Sometimes I'll get names, and just to like, oh, reach out to this person and check in with them. Or sometimes I'll get messages for clients randomly too that come through. So it's, I'm open, and then afterwards I give gratitude and say thank you so much for these messages. And then what I do is I just close my journal, and the next day I reread it and make notes and just revisit and just see what else is there, because sometimes in the moment it resonates one way, but then the next day, giving space, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I see something a little bit bigger here, or a different perspective, or different awareness. So that's kind of my own process I've created based on having been taught automatic writing by others in intuitive journaling, but I made it my own because of what I was guided to for myself. So again, this is just my process. Make it your own. If you want to try it out just to see, I would highly encourage to do Diane's process first, and then you can explore mine too, because I do love the free flow energy of Diane's process. It really can open up a lot of perspective as well. And like she mentioned, it's simple. Mine's a little more integrated and deeper, but I think both together could be really interesting as well.
Definitely. I think yours is, I love I love the depth of yours. I think mine's more surfacey. I think it's good, like you said,
Yeah.
it's good to start with, a good place to start, because it gives you a little bit of confidence as you keep
Yeah.
growing on it. But I love the idea that, what you're doing honestly is much more significant in a way, because it's processing huge, uh, what might be residing within you or without outside of you, your energy.
Hmm.
One of the most important things, a word, and I, even though you have said it and I'm going to repeat it, like with Mother Nature, hugging a tree or just having your bare feet on the ground,
Yeah.
that's called going with the flow. You're
Yep.
in the flow. You're in the flow of the universe.
Hmm.
That is that is so important, because when you're in the flow of the universe, then nothing's going to go wrong, really. I mean, life happens, and that happens. We can't stop life from happening, but you're going to feel more comfortable. You're going to be in the flow, and these little exercises that we get, all the things that we've talked about, give you the opportunity to feel differently and be different.
Yeah.
And it just takes a little bit of time. But you talk about the healing. Can I? Are you? Am
Yeah.
I interrupting? can I?
No,
Or do you have more to say?
I have one more process, but
Yeah,
if
go
I
ahead,
mean,
and
okay.
I'll share what I'm going to share afterwards.
Okay. And this is, I mean, this is just piggyback. This is the last one I do is, a lot of people love oracle cards. So I love oracle cards too. And so I'll do my process. Usually I like to knock 3 times and, do my own clearing of the cards and really set the intention to receive what energy I need to know for my greater good. And then I'll pick, whatever cards come out and I'll look at them. And like, for example, I picked these 3 cards and it's Archangel Raphael, community, and woman holding a coin. And so I'll look at the numerology because usually every oracle card has numerology on it. And I'll add up the numerology. I'll do a whole exploration on the numerology, what the message might be for there. And then for each card, I'll look at the imagery, I'll look at the words and free write. So for some people, if you're like, I just want to know what the universe wants me to know, oracle cards could be a good way to pick that energy and then journal with them. Yes, you can read the book, but first let yourself journal and then you can read, the interpreted message. But I always get different messages than the book. And sometimes the book will open up different perspective, which is good. So, but first give yourself time to see what comes through on your own. I think that's the biggest thing I see with my clients is them not giving themselves enough permission to explore what comes through naturally first, going to other readers or other interpretations or Googling, meanings of numbers is great to see what's out there. And also, though, what first came to you, because I think for my journey, I would intuitively, oracle cards, I never read the books. I just read the energy of the cards and then I would write about them and it would open up a lot. And then I would read it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I pretty much got the meaning, but in a different way, maybe different words. And it validated I had a connection to my higher self. It opened up a lot for me. So that is the last thing I would add is, if you do want to add other elements, oracle cards are great for that. There's so many different types and it could give you instant perspective in a big way, and giving yourself more time on that perspective can also support you in just evolving where your energy wants to grow into versus where you maybe aren't giving yourself permission. So that is my last tidbit.
I love that too. I mean, the whole reason that people will not make, there's fear. That's the problem. The fear will always stop you from being your authentic, greatest version of the highest purpose that your soul came here to experience. And I mean that, just let go. I'm just, that we're giving you tools to help you let go of fear and the things what you're experiencing. Everything's a dichotomy. I believe it's so simple. It's so simple, really. Everything's a choice. The first choice has to be to love yourself and take good care of yourself, right? And then it just spills over. Life becomes different. The fear, which is your ego, keeps you stuck in these places. And once you start opening up, and whether it's automatic handwriting or or tarot cards or crystals or the power of water, once you start seeing what that actually does to the energy behind that, and that you have that energy, that you can harness that's for you, and you can apply it to you, and you can change your life. All these little things all add up to this great big energy ball that we're all entitled to. Not one of us isn't entitled to it. It's our God-given gifts, because guess who are we? We come from the whole of all that is, so we're part of that. So we can do anything. And and through the ages, we different people, gifted, understanding, higher vibrating human beings have told us this. But man is slow to learn. But now we have something which Sara mentioned, which is the Healy, which was created by Marcus Schmicky, who is a monk and a physicist that lives in Germany. And recently, he added something. Can I talk about
Yes.
this?
I
Okay.
love, yes, please do.
Okay. Well, I'm actually wearing the Healy. I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm wearing it, and I'm wearing it with the wires attached. So
Mhm.
I'm actually going right into my body. But Marcus created this, what he calls, it's a coil, and it fits right. Actually, it fits right into through the back into your Healy, and it's based on partially Nikola Tesla's work with the scalar um, device. Well, it wasn't a device. It was a. Oh, I'm not good with all this kind of stuff, but I know it came from Nikola Tesla. But originally, though, where did it come from? Well, it came from the whole of all it is, where it really came from. But Pythagoras in, what is that, 500 um, AD?
I
Believe
think, yeah.
AD.
Yeah.
Created. He discovered the mathematical equation to the vibration of the universe. Nikola Tesla used that too, and now Marcus has used it as well. I'm sure other scientists have used it in addition. But
Yeah.
what he did was, this is so interesting. If you see, I don't know if you can
Yeah.
bring,
Or move it the
can
other
you see
way.
it? Move it the other way.
Yeah. There,
Here we
yep.
are.
There you go.
You
Yeah.
can, you can actually see those little coils going
Oh,
around.
it's so cool. I haven't
Isn't
seen it in
that?
person yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Very
yeah.
cool.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this slides in, and what it does is it magnifies what you're already receiving in your bioenergetic field. And so whatever it is you're doing, you're getting more of it, and you can feel it. I mean, feel it in a good way.
Hmm.
It's like energy. It's energy that surrounds you and increases your vibration. So whatever program you're using, like pain,
Hmm.
I actually had a little pain in my hip, which, I'm getting up there in the age, and every once in a while I get this pain. Well, I used to just put the electrodes on me with my Healy for pain, but this. I mean, I still do that too. Don't get
Right.
me wrong, but this, I take this and I put this and I put it right in my pocket, and so it's right on my hip.
Hmm.
Pain gone.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a gift to the universe. It really is. I mean, we are moving along. I mean, when I think about when I started on my spiritual journey and where other people were at that time, people weren't so open.
Yeah. No way.
No, and oh my goodness, I believe everything arrives in the perfect moment. Maybe not our perfect moment, because we
Yeah.
have we're instantaneous, all that gratification stuff, but truly, I trust how everything arrives to this universe, and that this little device came in this particular time is very significant, because um, he also created a wonderful application called coherence.
Hmm.
Coherence is the vibration of the universe, which we were talking about, Pythagoras. So this this is Pythagoras' work through Marcus and through Nikola Tesla and many others wonderful scientists out there in the world that understand energy and frequency. And
Right.
so now we're able to tap into that higher vibration ourselves. And so, can I just say that
Yeah.
all this kind of work that we're doing, automatic handwriting,
Hmm.
tarot, mediumship, psychicness, whatever it is, this will help in that process, because it's raising your vibration. It
Right.
raises so it makes you feel differently than you have felt before.
Yep.
Do you find that for yourself, Sarah?
Definitely. I feel like becoming an energy worker allowed me to step into that awareness of this invisible realm and how it works with us and understanding my gifts and my powers. And then after being introduced to Healy and using it, not only for the physical stuff, I did notice my ability start to open up and expand even more, my levels of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
There's programs for the soul. Coherence is definitely one of them. I feel like it's an awakening one. It really
Mm-hmm.
helps, you identify 3 areas in your life. And I've seen anytime I've done coherence with those 3 areas, I've seen rapid change or rapid perspective come in and support me in navigating some of those areas. So there's, there's chakras, there's also learning, there's,
So much.
so many different ones that really support us in and creating the lives we're here to create. And I know we all have different health challenges. So being able to apply it to the different health challenges and work with the technology in addition to, the intuitive work and the energy work, it's all companion and
It is.
all complementary. And, I do believe this tool Healy was made for New Earth, and we're in it, and we're ready to evolve and heal in new ways that we'd never have experienced before. And not only that, but this technology has been around and, used by these doctors, specifically mostly in Germany and the UK, and for years, like 30 years plus. And now we get access to, not only the technology, but they've created these different levels and what are categories based on all of their experience. So we're able to tap into this quantum field of frequency healing that's been proven to work for people. And it does. I was just telling Diane before this, I had a retreat and one of the participants showed up with a very severe UTI. And so luckily I had my Healy and she was open to using it, and I put it on her, and we were able to use a few programs. And the next day she said it went from a 90% intensity to 10% in less, like literally less than 24 hours. So to me, I was so grateful for the tool because I knew it would work for her. And that's a very, as females, we know that's not a comfortable position to be in, especially when you want to enjoy yourself. So I was so grateful to have a tool that I knew was like, oh no, here, you're in physical pain, use this, and it should support you. I didn't guarantee it because everyone's different, but I mean, I have to say, I've probably done this now on over 70 people, and I always see results. I've seen sprained ankles healed. I've seen so much, and it's no guarantee, but something about that quantum healing, targeting those weak cells and boosting them, allows our bodies like that extra boost to do whatever it needs to do. So from a conscious perspective, if you're blocked because you're stuck in the lower density, it's going to help raise your vibration. And that's one of the visions of Healy, is to raise vibration of Earth. And it literally does that. So I would say it is a tool you'll probably never hear me stop talking about because I'm so fascinated by it. I'm in awe of Marcus and his work, the mythology that's been in this company, and how it continues to grow and evolve. So again, if you're watching and you're like, I want to learn more, free 20-minute demo link below. I'll give you all the ins and outs, give you a good overview. I have a great interactive presentation as well. And also, if you want to learn about your chakras, I do have a service that leverages the Healy technology as well. So that's all available for you at Energy House. If you're ever interested, it's there. And if you want to purchase one, you can also reach out and I can support you in understanding what package would benefit you the best for where you're at in your journey. So any other tools you want to talk about? I know I have some crystals I was going to mention to also help open up intuition, but I didn't know if you had any more things you wanted to add to Healy.
Well, no, other than it's changed my life.
Yeah.
Physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, it really has.
Yeah.
I find myself very motivated really since I've started with the coherence in particular. I
Yeah.
have found myself very, very much motivated emotionally and mentally to take the steps to heal myself in every aspect, because I'm understanding the the greatness, the opportunity that exists in this particular age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I know, like I'm reading many more books than I've ever. I used to read voraciously, really, and I kind of slowed down, and now I'm back there, and I know that the Healy has created this thirst for knowing.
Yeah.
I got a thirst for knowing.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm in many different directions too, and
Yep.
it's fun.
Yeah.
New
It's really,
energy.
Yeah,
It's new
the
energy.
quantum phys like I love the quantum physics
Yeah.
and aspect to it too, and that's kind of like where I came from a different technology side, building out more virtual reality, augmented reality, interactive energy, interactive entertainment that leverage the quantum field, but more so for um like lack of better words, manipulation, and informing in a different way. So I love biofeedback technology in general. This is beyond biofeedback. This is definitely quantum healing.
Mhm.
So I do believe we're going to see more devices. There is another device, I forget what it's called, but it's not compact, and it's very you need like a lot, you need to like build a whole thing to even use it. So
Mhm.
there's not much out there that's like this. So it's
No,
definitely
yeah,
unique for sure.
for sure.
Other crystals to use if you are into crystals, and some of these you might have. The first one is labradorite. Labradorite is one of my favorites to use for intuition, connecting to your higher self, third eye. If you want to enhance your intuition, you can easily actually just lay down and place one on your third eye. So much opens up. It's a crystal I wear every day. It's cast an invisible uh, auric field around us, so nothing can attach to us. So if you're one that is empathic and sometimes absorbs other people's energies, this is a great one to wear slash use during meditation when you want to channel your own information. Also, if you're in like a ceremony or retreat energy and you're around a lot of other energies, yeah, it's fun to connect to everyone's, but sometimes you want to get your own messages. Labradorite is to me the way to gain that information and really kind of create your own shield to stay in your own bubble. So that is a great tool. You can hold it, you can meditate with it before. I like to amplify it with a clear quartz. So I just got this big clear quartz in Joshua Tree. I immediately picked it up and I was like, oh, I must buy this. There's like rainbows in it. It's just the energy's unreal, but clear quartz will amplify whatever energy it's next to. So you don't need a big honking piece of labradorite, but a big piece of clear quartz could be good. And also, I read this book. I have this book called The Secrets of Lumeria, and it's the lost wisdom
Mhm.
of Atlantis and Lumeria. And in the book, they were talking about how clear quartz was used in Atlantis to support people in activating and opening up their channels, but also clearing out and healing, because clear quartz has every color of the spectrum. That's why you'll see rainbow energy in it. But it also helps align all the chakras and open up all the centers. So clear quartz is so amazing to use. And last but not least, salicite is one of my favorites. It's like a big egg. And I'll hold this to channel Akashic records, past life, information, soul energy. Whenever I channel from the angelic realm, like anytime I channel, for some reason, this energy for me, it really resonates. It really opens up a lot of new perspective. And because it has kind of a weight energy, it just creates this energy of safety for me. I don't know. I feel very like safe with it. It's very angelic realm for me. So those are my three favorite crystals to use when I do automatic writing. Sometimes I'll use rose quartz if I need to, process something. Fluorite is another good energy. There's the octahedron, which is connected to the air element, and this can help clear the mind. And then I have like a big chunky one of fluorite that I have next to my computer, and that just helps with EMF. So we have a lot of EMFs in this reality, and that's never going away. No need to fear, but just being aware that the EMFs are always going to be around us, especially as we move into new age technology. I've seen roadmaps, having been in corporate backgrounds that specialize in technology and content development with technology. So holograms are definitely going to be in our reality, and that's going to cause a lot of EMF energy around us. That's why we're seeing a lot of 5G, even now 6G. And with that, we're just going to have to build a relationship with knowing when we have EMF toxic energy around us. So you'll feel off, you'll feel, kind of sick, you can feel hazy. Grab some crystals, oils, Healy. There's so
Healy,
much. There's so much you can do.
pure.
So I don't think it's something we need to fear. I think it's just something we all need to build relationship and know when the EMF is affecting us and when it's not. Because sometimes it's not. And, holding that space, sometimes just clearing your energy with white light works. And sometimes it doesn't, depending on how many towers you're around or, what consumption's happening in the household. I know for me, I know a lot of people are mining cryptocurrency now, and that's also causing a lot of different radiation in our atmosphere. I've seen it build up over the last year. Energetically speaking, I can see EMF energy, and I don't know how to explain it, but it's different. It's a lower frequency, it's a lower vibration. It's almost like cords that are just like heavy, almost like cable cords, but they just move in different frequencies. When it's a high frequency, it's like a flutter, lower, it's like a rope, like you're working out almost. And you can just clear it out. Sometimes you'll need crystals, sometimes a shower just works. So again, choose your tool. Even drinking water and just activating the water to say, okay, I'm going to clear out the EMFs. That works for me. So again, everyone's different. See what works for you.
Yep.
Yeah. That's all. That's all I got. Anything else? That
good.
trick. Okay.
Sounds
Beautiful.
good.
All righty. Well, thank you all for joining. Whoever joined live, I know several of you popped in and out, so appreciate that. And then also whoever catches a replay, thank you so much. Comment below if you have any questions. We did get a few comments. Oh, there's perfectly said. One person wrote, when I wrote the word love, I came up with energy from the heart emerging, our being feeling freedom. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, I love that. Diane, I forgot to mention that earlier, Diane, too. The writing just intention to love, just a word, love. It doesn't have to be a question. So it could just be an energy. And I think love is a good energy to work with right now. So comment below if you have any other thoughts or questions. And with that, Diane, thank you so much for joining and sharing your wisdom. And
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I
And
love
we'll
being
see you.
here.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.